Make we talk about insecurity. Make we adjust our relationship with the way we dey think about so that moving forward we go fit dey use take dey build ourselves up instead of dey use to dey tear ourselves down, to dey break ourselves down. Insecurity dey normally point towards something where we lack or something where we dey feel like say we dey lack. I dey word am like that because sometimes this idea of I'm missing something, there is something about me that is missing or that is not good enough, that I'm insecure about. I dey word am like that because sometimes that idea is true. When you look at your life, there is something that you probably should work on. But sometimes, other times, maybe even most of the time, the thing are really just popular sentiment. You know, you could change it if you want, but majority of the time it's really not that serious. It's really not that important if you try to put it in some kind of scale or in a hierarchy for what is important and what is not. You would find that those issues are really not as, you know, important compared to other aspects of your individual life or other aspects of our collective experience as people. So now why the word I'm like that? This insecurity could be a behavioral pattern. So something about you, the way you dey behave, the way you dey maybe interact with people, the way you dey show up for your life that you think should change, that you think could be better. It could be that, it could be something about your physical feature that you don't like as much, that you think you'd like to change. You get now the popular sentiment for insecurity, the relationship where we get with insecurity as people, now say now something where we suppose they are ashamed of, now weakness. You get to be insecure is to have some kind of weakness, is to have something that you should be ashamed of, not even the thing itself, just the should I say the feeling, just that state of being insecure about the thing, is like something that we want to hide, which is why conversations around being vulnerable are as popular as they are because they encourage people to feel speak about the things where they insecure about or parts of themselves where they feel like say they imperfect. Now why that conversation about vulnerability is popular because there is that shame, and that weak connotation around the conversation of insecurity. The problem with that kind of shaming and that sentiment of weakness where did the conversation is that it discourages people from doing any introspection about that particular thing where they feel insecurity for. And ideally this is what our response should be. If you go through life and you see a part of yourself, an aspect of your life that you feel like this part of myself I dey feel insecure about ideally that is something where we supposed to sit down, examine, observe them closely, introspect, and try to figure out, what our resolution would be about it moving forward. But because of this shame and this shame, make I tag both of them as shame. These shameful connotations where they attached to we they separate ourselves from you know, because if you accept it, it could either frustrate you or liberate you. You know, if you are clear enough, you have enough clarity, it will feel liberate you depending on what you choose to do after recognizing. But if that is not where you are, then it becomes something that frustrates you. So You'll find majority of people go prefer to deny and not accept that they insecure about anything. So our response is usually defense. You know, we'll speak loudly. I'm not insecure about this thing. I'm not insecure about that thing. Even if a friend or somebody close to us tells us this thing, it'd be like, say, you dey insecure about now why you they behave this way, now why you they act in that way, in that manner. You know, we go deny them vehemently. Say that word, not the last time when I hear person use that word. But yeah, we go deny them strongly, say man, we know they feel that way, you know, in the hope that the other person believes us or scream it and shout it continuously until the next person believes us. Waiting I dey suggest for here and say make we choose examination over that illusion, because what is more common is the this elusive kind of I don't want to call it confidence. It's this elusive kind of response, you know, where the person speaks with so much agility, so much they spend so much energy, aggression to tell let you know, say man, no, I'm not insecure about that thing. Now you could talk, say, you know, I don't have that insecurity. You know, and that becomes how we protect ourselves in that moment. So my suggestion here is that we choose examination over that, whether it's someone that points it out to you or you don't notice them by yourself before anybody else tell you. Choose examination over illusion. Choose understanding over denial. You know, examine yourself. This thing when I dey feel insecurity for, this thing when I dey insecure about, is it really that bad? You know, is it something I should actually change? You know, is it negatively affecting someone's life for real? Or is there this agenda? Is there this propaganda? Is someone just trying to gaslight all of us with this thing, trying to tell us that it's a big deal when it's really just not that serious? And then in the cases where it actually makes sense to change that behavior or that feature, you can ask yourself questions like, can I change it in the moment? Like, can I change it immediately? Or is it something that I need to work towards? You know, do I need to like wait until I have the means to change this thing? Is it a day's work? Is it a simple thing I can just change like that? Or is it a year's work? You know, do I have to take courses? Do I have to read books? You know, do I have to do a procedure that is going to last for, it's going to take a year, you know, to finish? You get, how patient do I need to be with myself in the process of changing this thing? You know, for cases where it actually makes sense to change. You get, like asking these questions will allow us to build our confidence, our self confidence on truth rather than this illusion. You know, when you get to that place, you know, really the need to run inside or outside when somebody tell you, say, oh, observe this part of yourself. I feel like now, because you're not today confident about this thing, now why you dey react this way, and then you go try to enact the confidence. You know, but when you ask yourself these questions inside house, quietly by yourself, ask yourself these questions, you'll find that whatever the answers are, you know, genuine answers, whatever you come up with as answers, whatever you come up with as resolutions, you will see, say, because you don't check that issue to the very bottom, you don't observe reach the end, To the point where, like, say, there is nobody outside of yourself that knows more about those insecurities than you. You'd find that you have this confidence that is just based on, like I said, truth, proper investigation into the issue. That is what your confidence is based on. So whether you've changed that thing about yourself, or whether you've not changed it yet, too, because it's going to take time, you're no longer insecure about it, because you understand that, okay, if it's something I want to change, then it's just a matter of time. I'll change it. If it's something that I don't want to change because it's really not a big deal, it's just gaslighting and popular sentiments, probably somebody's agenda, propaganda, trying to use it to achieve one thing or the other. If you don't get to that point of realization, even if the whole world stand, you know, in opposition to you, trying to tell you that your life is terrible because of this one thing, it does not really have that much of an effect anymore, because you don't see them, you know, for which it really be. You don't see them reach the very origin of the issue. Probably the people where even they try shame yourself, no know half of what you know about that issue. So nothing that you tell you will get any effect on you. You get, our insecurities ideally supposed to be opportunities for us to learn more about ourselves and potentially grow, as people. They're not supposed to be something where we view as weaknesses, because thinking of it in that way does not help us at all, does not help us build ourselves, does not help us become better people. It just makes us smaller, causes us to shrink and hide ourselves and eventually disappear. And I don't think that is what any of us want for ourselves. And if we are genuine people, I don't think that's what we want for other people too. So all around, it's just pointless to see our insecurities as weaknesses, and we could see them as opportunities for growth and development. So yeah, none of the matter. Insecurity, opportunities for growth, opportunities to see, you know, aspects of our life that we could potentially develop and improve. My name now is Sas, and I will see you for the next video.